Hey guys, welcome to Fearless TV. We're so excited that you're watching. If you want to know more of what's going on here at our church, you can follow us on Instagram at fearless_LA. If you have a prayer request, we would love for you to fill out a form on our website, and we just love to join you in prayer. The next message is entitled Love Like Fire by Pastor Jeremy Johnson. We hope that you enjoy.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. There is no law. Meaning these things are outlaws. They are outside of the law. There is no law. There is no limits to what these things have capability of doing. They have power beyond your wildest dreams. Against these things, the devil has no jurisdiction, and neither does life. How many guys could use some of these things in your life right here? How many guys could use a good friend that had some of these qualities in their life? That would be, how many guys could use a mate that has some, I'm not talking Australia mate, I'm talking about, that other someone. How many guys could use a mate that had some of these qualities in their life? Well, Jesus was always trying to develop these qualities in the lives of the believers that he was a part of. And he really knew from the beginning that really, it wasn't about them, it was more about him. The fruit of the Spirit has really nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with him. Because he says, I am the vine and you are the branches. My Father is the gardener, and you are a dead branch all by yourself, but I cut myself with the cross and I plugged you into me, and now all of who I am becomes into all of who you are. And really, there should be no end to Jesus and me. We are one and the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but I'm saying Jesus lives inside of me and he flows through me. And the life that I now live and now have, I live through Christ. It is Christ up here preaching through me right now. If you got Jeremy, y'all would leave. But thank God we're going to get Jesus tonight. And Jesus is going to transform our life through this little country boy in downtown LA. And we believe that the fruit of the Spirit are not something you have to work at. It's something that just happens. But it's hard to really capture that because it kind of feels like we have to work at it, because I'm kind of just not kind all the time. I don't know if everyone in here is just that kind person, that when they smile, something glimmers in their teeth and you just think, wow, they're just kind. But you may say, I'm not kind, I will cut you. I'm a little dangerous. I'm kind of ghetto. I'm kind of a lot of things, but I'm not just kind. And then I don't know if you know anything about peace, but what you know about peace in downtown LA with traffic and crazy 4 jobs, and you got to make schedules, and then God says, I want you to have these things. And then the Bible says crazy things that we don't even want to talk about, like you will know them by their fruit. Not by their talent, not by how good they do something. You're going to know them by their fruit. And so if you only know them by their fruit, how are people knowing you? If this is the only way we can really know you, we can't know by your skin color or your height or your width or how fast you are or how slow you are or how many talents you have or how many friends you have. The only way we can know who you really are is by the fruit in your life, not in your ministry, not in your job, not in your entrepreneurship, not in the things that are blowing up around you, the things that are blowing up inside you. You know what's crazy is that when I really studied this out, I used to believe that this was all these fruit, and so I started trying to live them out. Come here, Nick. And so I had to get love down, and then peace, and then I had to get joy. There's so many of them I got to read off of this, and forbearance. I don't even know what forbearance is. I'm still got to study the Greek on that one, and then kindness and goodness, and hopefully got faithfulness over there, and then gentleness, and hopefully you could catch self-control, and then all, over here. What was that? Oh, that was your peace. Okay, sorry, we lost it down there. I hope I didn't hit anyone. We don't have any lawsuit material going on in this place. Give me that lemon. There you go. It's kind of sour sometimes. And this is what I felt like. I felt like trying to juggle this thing, and something would come along and something would bump my life, and then there goes a couple things. There goes a couple fruits, and I'm like fruitless, and I'm trying to be fruitful because people are gonna know me by my fruit, and all I'm hanging on to is the pineapple. Watch out for the pineapple, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to live this life, and I'm trying to hold on as tight as I can to this crazy thing called life. And then I feel like I got all these rules, and I got to make all these rules, and I got to create all these laws so that I can keep up with the fruit. And if I don't create all these systems and laws, and this is what type A personality people do, if I could create enough systems and laws to protect myself, I can hold on to my peace. Like, I can hold on to my peace if I don't get in crazy situations. So I'm just going to live my life safe so I can hold on to this fruit that I got. I'm going to be kind, but you know what? I can't get around any crazy people, because if I get around, someone cut me off in traffic today. Can I be honest? And I pulled up next to him. I was like, what? And then he was like, what? And then my wife said, honey, you're not going to fight this dude. She said, it's Sunday. It was today. He was in a Prius, so I almost ran him over with my Jeep. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we're trying to hold on to this stuff, and it doesn't always feel like it's kind of crazy. It's like a juggling match, and we don't want to just stop. I mean, life would just tell us just to stop, because if we can just stop, maybe we can pick up all the pieces. Have you ever felt like that? This is what a lot of us feel like. We just kind of feel burned out. We got like one fruit left, and we're hanging on like a monkey with a banana to the one fruit we got left, and we're saying, God, all I got left is forbearance. I don't even know what it means, so I think I got it. Right? We're hanging on for dear life, and we stop. We stop church, we stop ministry, we stop relationships, we stop dreaming. We just pause. You ever just paused and curled up in a ball and said, God, I'll just wait here with my one piece of fruit left till you come back. I'll be right here hiding out. Please don't ask me to do anything else, because it just has not worked out good for me. When I was in high school, I broke my leg, my foot actually. I used to race cross bikes, not motorcycles, BMX. Way cooler. And I used to race BMX, and I had these sweet moves. And, the girl I would come to the racetrack, not my wife at this point, but, just that was an awkward moment. But the girl I would come, and I would just kind of do this thing with my handlebars and flip up the peace sign in the air, kick my leg up, whatever I could do. I mean, I didn't care about winning. I just cared about showing off. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time I was in my garage, and I was like, I'm going to see how long I can just stay on my bike without falling. You ever done this? You ain't gonna talk to me. You ain't gonna be real, right? I do stupid stuff like this. I don't know why. It just comes in my brain, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And I'm kind of that kind of guy that if you dare me to do something, I'm gonna do it. This was the first time I broke my leg. The second time I broke my leg, the same place, was when someone said, you cannot jump in the air and click your heels together 3 times in a row. It's impossible. I said, yeah, right. It's possible. I seen the Lucky Charms dude do it. So I took off running full speed at my college and jumped in the air, and guess what? I nailed it. But then I landed on my foot and broke it, and my friends came up and made fun of me. And so I was sitting on my bike the first time I broke my leg, and it wasn't at a racetrack. It wasn't on a jump. It was in my garage. And out of nowhere, I got that moment like, uh-oh, and I reached my foot down, and I broke my foot inside. And I learned that day that life works best when you're moving. Balance works best when you're moving. It works best when you're going forward. Look, the greatest thing that the enemy could get you to do is to stop, collaborate, and listen to what he's saying. But what if a generation caught in their spirit, like, dude, I'm not stopping because I dropped something or I'm trying to hold on to something. I'm going to move forward in this life. I'm going to keep on going. Look, God is wanting to build endurance in some of you. He's wanting to build what they call in racing a second wind. In the middle of the race where you feel like quitting and giving up, you just keep going. When is a generation gonna say, God, I may not feel like it, but I'm not here because of my feelings. I serve notice on my feelings, and I'm gonna keep walking by your word. I may not have it today, but I'll get it tomorrow. Devil, you are a liar. I'm moving forward. Just keep going. Just keep moving. Some of you ought to have a freaking birthday party for yourself. Put a cake in it and say, devil, you are a liar, because I'm still freaking here. I'm still going. I may have failed last night. I may have looked at something I shouldn't have looked up. I may have said it on the freeway with my hands. Whatever you did, God still has greater things for you. You don't have to stay where you're at. Keep going forward. 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 You know, in our ministry, people always try to quit. People always try to quit. And sometimes I get irritated, like, you're gonna quit? People call me, I really gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you right now. I need a meeting. I need 5 meetings. And I'm like, why do you need a meeting so fast? I always know when someone needs a meeting like today, I need a meeting tonight. Texting me at 1 in the morning. Can we talk right now? Can I go for a car ride? Can we go to the coffee shop? You know what I always know? They're gonna tell me whatever it is, and they're gonna try to quit. But I look back, and in my internship and in my ministry life, I tried to quit over and over and over and over again. And so the same grace you want for you, you got to give for others. You got to look at people behind you that you're still frustrated with because they keep dropping the pineapples, they keep dropping the fruit, and they keep stopping and worrying to move forward. You got to get on your thing and say, you know what? Keep coming, baby. Let me show you what's up here. There is more up here than meets the eye. There is more up here if you just keep moving. You know what some of our lives are? Just a symbol of what it looks like to keep pursuing Jesus. I don't want to do this thing for a few years. I want fruit that remains. But you know what I learned is that this word for fruit is not actually many fruits like we believe that there are 9 fruits, the joy, peace, forbearance, because really this wording in the original language, but the fruit of the Spirit is the wording for singular fruit. But the fruit of the Spirit. Many times in the Bible, when we try to, people say, what's your favorite translation? And someone will say NLT, and another person say, I like that Message version, And then someone will say, I like that. I like that. They have all kinds of, I don't even know what versions now. There's like a young hipster, I don't know, whatever. There's all kinds of versions, a Johnny Cash version. But here's what I'm saying. No matter what version you get, it may not be the original version. So sometimes you got to go back to the original version to find out what was it originally saying. And you got to study it out, and you got to learn that they don't have all the same words that we have, and we might have one word where they had 5. And this word right here for fruit, but the fruit of the Spirit, the singular fruit of the Spirit is, and then it lists all these things. So really, this should not read love, comma, joy, comma, peace, comma, forbearance, comma, kindness, comma, I'm gonna go crazy, comma, one more thing, comma, oh my gosh, how am I gonna live this out, comma, and self-control. This should read, the fruit of the Spirit is love. Love. And these are simply the attributes of love. So you don't have 9, you have 1. And just like this is an apple, it has a core, it has seeds, it has skin, it has the inside, the outside. There are many parts to the apple. Although there are many parts, all parts make one. Just like it is with the body. Although I have a hand and an arm and a shoulder, although these are individual things, they are all forming one thing, the body. The main fruit is the fruit of love. This is why Jesus didn't say, when he got there, he said, here's the one greatest commandment you got to live out, have peace. Have peace with God, have peace with each other. No. All he had to say is have love. Love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and spirit. And then love others as you love yourself. Or it should be able to say, you can love others when you finally love yourself. So it's one fruit. It's the fruit of love. And this fruit is so deadly, so dangerous, so incredible. It is awkward how much he loves me. And it is awkward how much he produces love through me. I mean, I'm at the back door and I just like hug random people. It's like, hey, how's it going? And people look at me like, dude, we're in downtown LA. Like, I don't hug people. Like, I'm not a hugger. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I just like to hug people because there's something inside of me that falls in love with people. I don't know how to help it. Even like some people in this room, I don't want to love you because you're difficult to love. You're always still pooping in your diapers. You know what I'm saying? You're still doing the same old thing for the same old time, but there's something in me that can't help it. Guess what? It's not me. It's him. He keeps producing love. I try to hold it back, and it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, gosh, it's love again. Oh, there it is. Oh, I don't want to love anyone else. Another person to love? Oh, man, this is 5 more meetings. Oh, I can't wait to have those meetings. I can't wait to love on you. I can't wait to pray for you at 2 in the morning. It's going to be awesome. This love drove me to move to downtown LA with my family. From Modesto, I had a 3,000 square foot house in Modesto. That's like baller status Beverly Hills. I paid for it with my youth pastor check. That's insane. People had one job. We lived in the same city. We had parking lots. Remember those? You don't remember, huh? It's been too long. You've been here too long. You ever just gone in a city that has parking lots? You're like, a parking lot. And people are like pulling up like it's nothing. You're like, you have no clue how you have this amazing parking lot. Lucky. I wish there was a parking lot. You don't just have parking structures. You got to pay like $150 to park on the 18th floor. $250, $300, I don't know. It's going higher and higher. But why are you here? You can't help it. Love has produced something inside of you that has drove you to this city. You may not even realize why you're here. You thought you were here to do something else, and you may do that. But God has put a love in your heart to bring you to a place for such a time as this, to love on a city till they ask why. You know what the greatest thing about being the branch? When the wind moves, the fruit falls. Tired of the wind, God. Tired of the storms, God. Tired of going through stuff. I'm trying to produce something in you that lasts. Because if this fruit stays on the vine for the rest of the time, you're going to draw things that eat dead things. You're gonna live with dead things hanging on you. And this is what most of the church looks like, because we don't want to go through any storms or trials or temptations or walk through anything. So we hold on to our fruit and we say, you know what? I'm just okay with being a house plant. Just put me in the house and let me produce in the house. But I'm believing for a deadly generation, a dangerous generation that says, get me out of the house. Hey, I was born in the house, but I'm ready to leave the house and go out into the wild and let the Holy Spirit blow in my life and let the fruit fall where it may fall. And guess who's down where it's fallen? The other dead branches that look up at you and say, how'd you produce that? You know, my friends from high school go, how are you doing that? How are you so happy? Why you look so, you know, my friends look so old. From high school, I'm like, dude, I feel old, but you look old. Which one's worse, right? Can I tell you this? Bring it back. Joy is love's celebration. Patience is love's response. Kindness is love's reaction. Goodness is love's gift. Faithfulness is love's commitment. Gentleness is love's expression. And self-control is love's choice. Against such things, there is no law. There is no limits. You serve a limitless God that wants to produce in you fruit that remains. I love this because it doesn't mean fruit that just sits on the vine forever. I used to think that, fruit that remains. It's like plastic fruit. It's always there. It looks nice. But meaning that as soon as one fruit's gone, a new fruit comes. And the love keeps coming, keeps pouring out. It's less like a container of water and more like being plugged in as a hose. I'm just a conduit to being plugged into heaven. Thank God that we got some people in this room that are plugged into heaven. Because there are a lot of people in this world that are plugged into death. And they're waiting for the water of life to be drug out of the house as far down the street as it can get and to put water where water usually doesn't come. You see, God has got some of you way into the darkness. He's got some of you placed strategically, and not some of you, all of you placed strategically in this city, in campuses, in homes, in jobs. Oh, you thought you got that job because they liked your resume? They put you there. You thought you lost that job because the door was shut? No, God was just reassigning you to a new location. You have been assigned. Your life's not a competition. It's an assignment. Not one of these people in the Bible was their life a competition. I don't see Moses checking out the Instagram feed of Noah and going, geez, he got the ark, all the animals. This is what we do. Because for some reason we thought this was a competition. Oh, Zoe Church, they're starting over there, and Hillsong's over here, and oh man, how are we gonna do this, church? I'm just trying to do this thing, man. I'm just trying to do this thing. Even to the point where I've seen some people on Instagram, they said, oh, I like the new Young and Free album, and they kind of felt awkward because they didn't know if I would like it. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's incredible. What's wrong with that brain space that we can't, we're not in competition with anybody. We don't do worship. We don't write worship songs so we're like, oh, we have the best worship song. You hear that worship song? Way better than that other church. How weird is that? That's so weird. We write it because we want to write in the card to Dad. A long time ago, God showed me a Hallmark card, and he said, tell me the next time you'll give your dad this card without writing in it. Perfect words, spelled right. I don't really spell right a lot. Perfect font. But if I handed that to my dad, he'd hand it back. So God spoke to me. He said, I want you to write your own words and songs. I want you to begin to challenge your people to write dad notes. They might be out of key. They might be spelt wrong. They might not be perfect words. But it will be your words. When my daughter gives me a card, I actually read hers before I read the other words. Many times now, I don't even read the other words. I don't waste time on them because some perfect person in a place wrote that believing what I should feel and think. Some institution wrote that, but I want to read the words from my dad. You see, I believe that your dad is so madly in love with you. You know how crazy it is? God doesn't have to use you. Couldn't he just do it? But he's like, this will be awesome together. How fun will this be to do life together? A while back, my daughter, she's 3, and I promised her because I left on the train and she freaked out. We used to live in Fullerton. She freaked out. She's crying. My wife sends me videos. Horrible, right? I'm on my way. I can't get off the train. Sends me videos of just saying, I want my daddy. And she's just freaking out, insane for 4 hours. And so I call her. I see if she's okay. I say, honey, you know what? Next week, you can come with me to work. I forgot that I said that, but she didn't. As soon as I got ready for work, I'm trying to head out the door because I'm like, oh gosh, I said that last week and this is not going to work. But if she remembers, we're going to have to make this work. She came to the door. She had her princess dress on. And she said, Daddy, I'm ready for the train. I couldn't tell her no. She got in my car, got in the train. We just rode the train together. She didn't have any notes ready for the meetings. She didn't have her laptop. She had one. It's a Fisher-Price one that the batteries are running out. We just talked the whole way. I was heading into a job, and so was she. But the fun of it was not that we were going to do a job. The fun of it is that we got to go together. Not for one moment did I think, what kind of meetings are you going to run today? Not for one moment did I think, oh my gosh, I hope you succeed. I hope they like you at work today. I hope the other employees at Fearless, I hope you get some stuff done. Are you going to figure out the new lounge and the red bar? I hope you're going to figure this out, Lyric, at 3 years old. No, I was just so excited to hang out with her. I couldn't wait. I had already pictured in my office. I was going to pull up a chair. She was going to sit right next to me. And whatever notes she wanted to write, she got to write. She drew a weird picture of me throughout the day. And people would try to get me to focus, and I couldn't focus. This is life with Dad. This is walking out the fruit of the Spirit. This is doing ministry. Guys, it's not stressful. It's not burnout. It's not burnout central. This should be, we don't burn out. We burn in. We burn in Christ, and we are new creations, and we're going to walk with Him. I'm burnt out. How weird does that say? I'm burnt out on winning souls. That's so weird. Since when do you have to win them? Since when did you have to save them? Look, you don't have to do anything. Just get on the train. Just put your princess dress on. Right? If you're a dude, put your Ninja Turtle outfit on. Paint your face. Jump on the train with Dad and let Him produce through you. Let Him appoint you to places that you do not deserve, but only get to walk in because you're a son or a daughter of the Most High God. Look, I don't deserve to pastor this incredible church. I don't deserve to have this call. You know what? The only thing that I can attest in my life that I can look back on, people go, how'd you get here? I want to do what you do. How'd you get here? And the only thing I can look back is I just said yes. That's it. I don't know if I could try to figure out how to do it again or how to get to where I'm supposed to be, but I just know one thing. As long as I say yes to Jesus, as long as I say yes to walking in His love, as long as I say yes to His limitless grace inside of me, then everything's going to be okay. I just said yes, and He took me on the wildest venture I've ever been on. I don't know how I got here, but I do know who I got here with. How will you get to your destiny? Stop worrying about it. To worry is to keep complaining about something you can't change. You keep saying it over and over again. What about this? 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 And God's like, okay, let's move on. I got that. You just come with me. And let's walk together. You don't have to do it. You just have to be. But it's hard to be because our whole life they told us to do. Our whole life they clapped when we colored inside the lines. And God says, color outside the lines. Our whole life they clapped when we finally made rational decisions. But God says, I want to give you things that surpass your mental capacity. You see, our God is way different than the gods of this earth. He does not need to give you His approval for you to feel powerful, because it's not a matter of worth, it's a matter of birth. You have to catch, I am a son, I am a daughter. Have you ever been almost a son? You like had this person you really respected and you're like almost a son, but that dude was the son? Or that girl was the daughter, and so you're almost there. You're kind of halfway in. You ever had some somewhat friends? You were kind of their friend. You were kind of on the outside, but if someone else came in the room, they would choose them. God's not like that with you. He is madly. No more limits. No more limitations. His love knows no bounds. Do you understand what this is saying? Against such things. Against what? Against love. There is no law. Because love always breaks the rules. I always break the rules for my daughter. Always. It happens every time. I'm a sucker for her. my wife's like, don't let her crawl in our bed. I'm like, but just one more night. She's not going to do it. She's not going to bother anyone. Don't give her that cake before dinner. She'll be okay. My daughter, she still goes in her diaper, and she's not supposed to. She's supposed to use the toilet. She'll wake me up, Daddy, don't tell Mommy I went in my diaper. And you know what? I don't tell. Probably should. It'll be all right. Love always breaks the rules. Doesn't know limits or bounds. Look, why do you keep giving God all these rules of why he can love you and can't love you, and letting all these rules dictate if his love is powerful enough to get to you? Well, I did this, I thought this, I walked in this, I don't know if I failed here, I dropped this here. God, how am I ever going to live up to the expectations? God, you don't have to live up to anything. Just be. Just walk in who you are. You're my son, you're my daughter, I love you. I keep breaking the rules for you. Gods aren't supposed to come die on crosses. God's not supposed to be born in a manger. God's not supposed to let a soldier rip out his beard. The wood he created, he let them nail him on. Gods aren't supposed to be buried in tombs. Gods don't die. But this God did. And he broke the rules to get to me. And if he broke the rules to get to me, I know. And he's breaking the rules to get to you. And he loves you. He loves you. I don't care what they did to you, what they said to you. He's not mad at you. He's madly in love with you. And he just wants to wrap his arms around you. I know they said, they abused, they walked in, but they weren't representing his love. And they weren't walking in his kindness. And they weren't living out his joy. But he wants to do in your life what they could never do. He wants to replace what you thought they could do in your life with all of who he is. And if you need that tonight, I just want you to stand up to your feet, right where you're at. Come on, like my daughter getting on the train. Says, Dad, you better not leave without me. You promised to love me. You promised to take me on this journey with you. I'm not letting you leave this house. I'm not letting you leave this house. Dad, I want to walk with you. Dad, I want all of you. If you're ready to say yes to God, it has to be an all-in yes. Can't be a halfway, a some of the way, a part of the way. You just have to say yes.
What an amazing message by Pastor Jeremy Johnson, talking about love like fire, that God's love has no boundaries, but yet we place ourselves in this position where we say it's physically impossible to find your love. And maybe you're placed in that position, maybe you feel that way right now, and you want to say, God, I want your love. But know this, that God's love is free, and that He'll give it to you if you just ask. So if you're struggling with that, if you're going through that season, go ahead and bow your head and close your eyes as I pray this. Lord God, you're the God of miracles. You're the God of love. And we just seek you in this season, Lord, that we feel weak, that we feel like there's no love, that it's physically impossible to find that love. And we just pray for that love, Lord, that you just pour into us, and that we'll be able to go to our families, our different relationships, our coworkers, to impact them with this love that you've placed in us. I pray that we will be world changers in all the areas that we're placed in. In Jesus' name, amen.